And after 6 months, I was already one of the best. And I stopped because I didn't have time in my schedule. I played in the high school band, 2 all-region high school bands, um, many high school all-region orchestras, the Levique Symphony Orchestra before it was disbanded, um, and I was always the first chair in those. And I played harp for a while because my mom has a harp and I like hearing it, so I play it sometimes. Especially a religious background where they don't allow instruments in the church, we've always sung a cappella, so I can sing. And I've always been surrounded by music because my mom has a doctorate in piano something or other. And when we were no like she had to stop working on her doctorate because she had children. So when she went back to it, she was pregnant with us, and like as she was pregnant, she would give concerts, and we would be right next to the keyboard, so we could hear everything. And before I was even born, I knew the difference between like Rachmaninoff and Prokofiev and Bach. My older sister goes to the #1 music conservatory in America right now. She's about to graduate as one of the top flute performers there. Um, one of my younger sisters, her name's Bethany. She's about to graduate high school next semester, and she's probably gonna go to like SMU or she plays oboe. She's one of the best. She is the best, and she's really humble about it, which is nice. Um, so yeah, it's like music has always been a thing that we just have to do, and our parents always made us do it because it helped us learn faster. Like I knew how to read music before I could read English, and I knew how to count the beats in a measure before I knew how to count like anything else. So I've always had a working knowledge of it, and I've always been surrounded by it, and that's I don't know, that's just kind of my background in that. So whenever I hear somebody here talking about how much they know about things when like you can tell that they don't, it really pisses me off. No, the Carmen was written by Bizet, and it's pronounced Wagner. And I am appalled and offended that I'm having to pay $50,000. I am offended that I have to pay that much to go to the school with the best undergrad program for artists. Well, it's really 21 if you count the loans and disregard all the scholarships. And then I also get offended when people think it's the hardest, because this is definitely not. Like, all the work in like art history and English, and whenever we do math and science and other languages like that, that ought to be second nature. Everything works together. So like art depends on a complete understanding of math and science, and history depends on everything else. And it all works together. You can't have one without any of the other. I really, really wish the school would have us focus more on a complete understanding of everything, rather than, oh, you'll do English this year, and math this year, and language this year. I think it should be all the time. Because if we don't, then what are we learning? We're learning that everything's separate when it's not. I feel like if we're going to be real artists, we need to be artists in math and science too. Because I feel like my high school didn't focus me enough on math and science, and now I feel even more behind because I'm not learning it now. I'm lucky to come from Texas because it has one of the best education systems, since it is such a not as economically challenged state. Like my school puts a lot of emphasis in, or my old high school put a lot of emphasis in academic subjects rather than like sports. Like I feel like SAIC could do better in that way. And I also feel like the students need to understand that this isn't just like going to class and coloring books. This is real. And some of it just looks like an arts and crafts project, like you would do for, I don't know, an English class in high school. And I was really thankful that the dropout rate is 60%. I feel like the freshman class definitely doesn't and shouldn't define SAIC as being the #1 art school in America and hopefully the world. So, like, all in all, in a way, I think the school is really good in challenging people, but I think it could be a lot better in demanding more and expecting more in all subjects, not just art. People should just take this more seriously because each class is $300, approximately, depending on how many scholarships you got. I'd like to see more determination and more respect for what we're doing right now. I think I'd want to talk about how we should take things seriously because a lot of my art's really shitty. I mean, I can't really talk when it comes to making things look better and not as Project-y, but, I mean, at least I'm trying, I guess. And I would really like to meet the people who care just as much as I do.